Hi, friends. How are you? It's Friday. It's Friday. All right, let's see who is here first. Let's see. I saw Rainbow up top. Good morning. Michelle, good morning. Early Port, good morning. Jeanette, good morning. Let's see. Kim, hello. Gaynor, hello. Don, hello. Prismacolor, yes. Yeah, we're going to be working on the background today. Let's see. Shannon, good morning. Mona, hello. Let's see. Josephine, good morning. I'm pretty sure she's Prisma's on the entire page. I could be wrong, but probably not. I love it. Yes, it was Prismacolor. I've been on a Prismacolor kick. I've been trying to think, though, about my next, well, whatever page I filmed for a reel next. I think I need to mix it up. I had somebody the other day comment that they were frustrated that I was using expensive pencils. I was like, well, I have some videos with Crayola, but maybe I should do a refresher with Crayola. Always makes for good content because it's a bit of a challenge. Let's see. Blood Rose, good morning. First live in a long while that I managed to catch, better late than never. Hey, we have a saying here. We do exclamation point late. And it says, as soon as it pops up, basically, you're never late. You arrive precisely when you mean to. Because we love Gandalf here. Let's see. Trying to make sure I didn't miss any names. Johanna contest page. So I've done the page, but I didn't submit it just because I got an early. Can you imagine if I ran no, that would be so embarrassing. Like if I entered and then I won, no, I got an early book. No, I did it in case people need inspiration, but I personally am not entering because that does not seem, I would be so embarrassed if I won. I'd be like, oh my God. I feel so bad. Like I'd say, give it to, so I did it, but I didn't enter it, but you guys definitely should. Let's see. Wilcox, I always just called you Wilcox, but do you go by Kersey? Because I can switch that. I try to mentally switch over. Hi, Yana. Thank you. So hopefully I didn't miss anyone. Let's see, do I have any updates? Okay, quilt squares. I haven't done them yet because remember I said I'm waiting because we're almost done with them. So next Friday will be the last day for the quilt squares. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do some giveaways next Friday. So, we won't have any more squares to give away because that's all been planned out. But for charms and such, we'll be doing some giveaways for those. We did 10 square giveaways, so I think we'll be doing 10 charm giveaways. So, I mean, anybody that has a square will be able to enter that. Curious about the extra shipping charges. I wouldn't worry about that because it's open worldwide. It was different when she was like sending out a ton of PR packages. Like that was a ton of people, but she opened that worldwide knowing that there would be shipping it. So I say go for it, Josephine, enter, enjoy it. It's not even based off skill or anything. It's just random people win. So don't let that hold you back. Go ahead. I would say go ahead and enter. Oh, and that's just fine. That's just fine. I think I was feeling moody that day. So I did that. That's also probably why I chose a darker color palette. I can't remember if I showed the finished one to you guys or not. In Small Victories for episode 28. Hi, Lori, welcome. So glad you're here. Let's see, make sure I'm not missing anyone. Yeah, no, enter, absolutely. Yeah, I can't remember if I showed this one on stream finished or not, but if you missed it, this was it. This was episode 28. For this one, I have the color palette in my mind that I want to do. A lot of times I'll choose color palettes based on the pictures next to them. So for this one, since I did it so dark, which was great because I had a lot of people like, oh my gosh, I never would have thought to do like blue or green for my food or whatever else. Hi, Marcy. If I miss anyone coming in, say hello again. I apologize if I miss it. Thank you, Adele. The midnight at the dessert cafe. Oh, I like that. I like that. My kids saw this and were like, why is the burger moldy? I was like, oh, yeah, I guess it could look like that. So because they're Prismacolors, I burnished the heck out of it and it's so shiny now. But that was it, as I used the Caran d'Ache blender when I was done with it. And yeah, you get this super smooth, shiny finish. That being said, the shinier the page, the more difficult it is to photograph without a glare. Thank you. windows late today. Well, I opened them the other day. I told the kids, I was like, your rooms are getting stuffy. We need to open the windows. And I was like, oh, right. It's not too many times you can say in Texas, the room is stuffy. Therefore, I open windows. Right? A little bit. I also have my coffee this morning. It's spring break. I have not been getting up as early as I usually do. But yeah, so this one, I want to go for an opposite color palette. So this one, I think I have an idea in mind. It's going to be like pink and yellows and oranges, but not like hot, hot pink. It's going to be a more subtle pink. And then for the background, I thought about doing my traditional like bubble circly background, but I thought instead to help the pink and the orange and the yellow pop, I'm going to do like blues and greens, like on like a dotted thing on the outside to leave this part bright. And I think it'll make all of this like pop a ton. When am I going to do this one? I don't know yet. I'll be perfectly honest. I was thinking like, oh, I'm going to have extra time to film. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. Honestly, everybody's been home. Steve also took vacation this week. So I've kind of just been enjoying time with the family. So I was like, well, so much for that theory that I was like, oh yeah, I'll go stream. And heck no. I have hardly done any filming. I also went ahead and put up this one for whatever reason. I don't know, it was my ADHD or what, but my ability to focus and get this one edited, I was struggling. But, because these longer ones obviously take longer to edit. But this video in the How to Color Flowers series, this is for Lost Ocean. Not very many flowers in this one, but it can be applied to, vernal equinox. Nice. Yeah, there you go. It's like your blue period. But so this is what we did for the Lost Ocean flowers. So next, I haven't picked out the page yet, but in that series, I'm going in Johanna order and then I'll do other books. So after this one, it'll be Magical Jungle and there's plenty of flowers in there. So I'll be doing that one. So that's pretty much it for updates. Kind of the plans for the next one. You guys always get like the kind of behind the scenes thought process on what that is. All right, so let's see. I apologize if I missed anyone coming in, but for today, we are going to be working on, make sure it's nice and as flat as possibly can be. We're going to be working on this one. So we've done 2 streams before. First stream, I think we just did this shell, right? And part of this shell. Anyway, second stream. Oh, I'm so glad. There was a lot of response from the very first one, and I think it's because I did a white flower. It's slowing down a little bit, but I think it's also because the Lost Ocean one isn't super applicable to a lot of books. So I was like, well, maybe for Magical Jungle, if we do a different than just like a sort of daisy petaled video. I'm going to choose like, see if I can find like a bird of paradise to do. I think that could be cool. But for today, we're going to be working on this page. We're going to be working on the background. So what we are going for today is something to the effect, thank you, to the effect of ripples in the sand. I'm pointing, but you can't see. There we go. Ripples in the sand. So we're probably going to do it more like this one. I feel like this, like more ripples would be a little bit too busy. So we're going to go for this one. So we're actually going to turn that one off because I think what I'll do is I'll leave this one up while working on it. And this was just something that I grabbed off of Google. But we're gonna be using it. And we're gonna be using Prismacolors. I've got our little handy dandy notebook here where we're gonna be writing down. This was from the shell page. I'll zoom in. If you missed, we didn't write it down for the first one. I started marking them like this in the last live. So if you missed this, I'm going to leave it up for a second in case anyone wants to screenshot it. Wait, where is it hot at right now? Because we had like, I don't know if you guys saw, I posted a story on Instagram where we were at the river. And it was great. It was 90. By that evening, the winds were so strong, pushing in that cold front. We were in a freeze warning that evening. So, you know, totally makes sense. 90 degrees in the afternoon, 40 degrees by midnight. You know, that tracks. It's 65 this morning. I think Steve's going to take the kids for a bike ride while I stream, but yeah. Oh, all of Northern California. Really? Oh gosh, I wonder if that's headed our way. I have not looked at the weather report. We've just really been kind of hunkering down and just enjoying some family time, playing some games with the kids. Dang. Is it upwards towards Oregon at all? Raining and flooding up here. Oh my gosh, it's like there's like I'm seeing things online of snow and like all of this stuff. Yeah, that tracks. 75 on Sunday, 18 on Monday. You know, I can't complain though, because as soon as summer hits, it's gonna be like triple digits all the time. I mean, you guys know Texas. Although we should probably take oh my gosh, sorry guys, my words are not wording. Take advantage of the cool weather and finally get the backyard mode. It really needs it. Oh, last week. Yeah. Yeah, we're hoping maybe tomorrow or Saturday we'll take the kids back to the river. Words are really hard. Full disclosure, I was adjusting to a new medicine earlier this week, which was also part of the reason why I didn't do any extra streams. That's going to happen a lot today. Anyway, it didn't agree with me, and consequently, brain fog and word stumbling has been something I'm still dealing with. So please be understanding if I, instead of saying we're going to use brown today, I say the banana ran on the ran. I can't even say it. Ran on the treadmill. Oh my gosh, no, it's like little words. I'm fine. It's cool. Hi, B. How are you? Frost at night. See, I like that. Like, that's what I'm used to, like, for Oregon weather. Like, it's warm, but the trick to surviving the summer is because it's cool in the morning. You open all the windows, and then close them in the afternoon. We had no power. Oh no. Yeah, we lost power night before last, I think. But it's because somebody drove into, let me preface this with they were fine. But somebody drove into a stoplight down the street, which they had to turn off all of the power for our section so they could fix the stoplight. And I was like, oh, that's lovely. It flickered on and off when it happened. Like, we read about it all afterwards. And then they had to shut it off for a little while. A snowstorm. Oh, and you're East Coast. Oh, dang, man. Mother Nature needs to make up her mind. That's insane. All right. Let's go ahead and jump in. See, I prefer, I don't know, whatever. I just want to live somewhere that has temperate weather all the time. That'd be nice. Not too warm, not too cold. Go live in the spring court. I've got ACOTAR in the brain because I've been re-listening to the series in preparation for the release of ACOTAR 6, which of course had to include Crescent City because book 3, there's a crossover. I know it's a little bit of spoiler, but it's been out for a while, so I won't add any other details, but there is a crossover. So I was like, if I fully want to know or remember what's going on for ACOTAR 6 and 7, oh my gosh. I hesitated there for a second because little Steve is on his 6-7 kick. And anytime he goes 6-7, I'm like, oh my God. So ACOTAR 6 is going to be in October, and I believe ACOTAR 7 will be in January. She's releasing 2, like back to back. And she said, because she just did an interview, so if you listen to it, she said basically she had so much, she couldn't fit it all into one book. Like, they couldn't physically use that much glue to bind up books. So she broke it into 2 books. But rather than stretching it out, releasing one, waiting 2 years, releasing another, she's releasing both of them within a couple of months. So, yeah, I got to pre-order those on Audible. I am not, so don't spoil it because I am waiting. I don't want to be waiting like every week. So in my mind, I'm pretending it's not out yet. And when all the episodes are out, I'm going to binge watch it. It does. Yeah. See, he loves math. So like he's already been doing that. He gives us math problems until we come up with the answer of 67. But we respond with 8, 9, and that kind of drives him nuts. So. And that's the thing about butterflies. It's really not like if somebody in whatever they're Gen, is it Gen Z? Gen Alpha? I can't remember which Gen. Anyway, they picked up on it, and it's really that it means nothing. It's like, you remember the thing that went around in the 90s and they're like, what up? It's like their generation's version of what up. Foggy, well, I'm so glad you're here. Welcome to chat. Respond 42, right? Gen little ones, right? Well, apparently the next generation's already being born. I'm not ready for it. Apparently millennials, which is where I fall under, like one of the elder millennial. There we go. That's where I fall under. We're just moving right along. All right, so we've got our little picture here. This is what we're going to be going for. Gen Alpha doing that. Yeah, and I think the next generation is going to be what? Gen Beta. All right, so we don't necessarily have to do browns in those colors. I know it. I know it, Kim. What are we in? March, January, March, April? Oh my gosh. How long? I will be 1, 2, 3. Okay, I'm going to be 40 in like 4-ish weeks. I got like a month left. I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm probably not going to do much. Like if I were to throw like a party, or, oh, I have it on autofocus. So I were to throw a party or something and be like, yeah, no, I'd rather spend money that it takes to throw a party on like a trip to Jackson's. Thank you, Kim. Okay, so for our color palette, we've got some cooler colors. And I'm thinking for our sand, we could go warmer. We got, you know, our little red and orange starfish, so we could go warmer, could go darker. I mean, beach sand by itself is not super dark. 72nd birthday on the 18th. Oh, happy birthday. I mean, what was did they even really label generations? Because, you know, there's millennials, there's Gen X, there's, well, my parents are above Gen X. So what would be above my parents? I don't even know. I think naming the generations started happening with like us. 50 to myself to a stationary supply run in Japan. Oh, in Japan? Oh my gosh, right? If I were to travel anywhere, I'd probably want to go back to Scotland. There was a lot that I didn't see that I want to. Okay, hang on real quick. I just need to clear my throat. Baby boomer. All right, so what was before the baby boomers? That's what I want to know. Okay, so for our browns, and one of the reasons that I like sticking with the Prismacolors, especially for this, is their variety in colors. So for what we're going to do, we've got putty beige. Let's zoom in a little bit. Oh, the silent generation. Why do they call it the silent generation? I wonder. Let's say mid of Gen Z is different. Yeah. Generation Jones. Wait. What classifies Generation Jones? I haven't heard that one. Pilgrims. Oh, silent movies. Okay, that makes sense. Between Boomer and X, there's a running joke that if you were born between the Lord of the Rings animated movie and the Lord of the Rings live action movies, you're no longer a millennial. You're the Hobbit generation. And honestly, I'm here for it. Like, absolutely. Tail end of baby boomer. I like to say Gen X. My kids constantly correct me. People born in the 50s called, except all. ID. I'm liking that. The Pilgrim generation. That's what. Yeah, Hobbit generation, right? I'm down with that. I mean, you guys know me. I've got Gandalf quotes and flipping Lord of the Rings decor downstairs. Okay, so putty beige in comparison to ginger root. Let's see. I want to be able to, you know, we're going to grab a sheet of paper because they're not next to each other. And I want to, come on, printer, let me have a piece of paper. I was pulling out the wrong thing. Okay, so we're gonna look at these colors together when we decide. Generation Jones is 1954 to 1965. I like that. Baby boomers are 46 to 64. Okay, so we're gonna grab putty beige. Okay, these are gonna be our lightest. See, we do have a color that's called sand, but it's entirely too yellow. So we do have a seashell pink. I think we're going to be using that for sure. So let's see. Peach beige is 1085. Yes. Okay. So 1085. Seashell pink. And what was the other one? Ginger root. We're gonna compare all those colors together. Definitely got the memo. All right. 1084 is after the greens. So here we go. Okay. Why Jones? I have no idea. Just joined the stream, so got ads. It's now 3 unskippable ads. See, and now it's telling me now would be a good time to insert ads. It's literally got 2 notifications trying to push automated ads. Good morning, Trey. Well, sister, if it helps, once you get past the intro ads, there should be, I don't know, YouTube's weird. You shouldn't get too many. Boomers 1 and Boomers 2, also Generation Jones. I think it comes from the whole keeping up with the Joneses. Ah, you've had no ads? Yeah. Silent Generation 2. Yeah, B, you are like the queen of the generations. That's a very good question. Okay, so we have our 3 lightest brown colors in our color palette. Okay, where is, let me grab, I'm just gonna grab one of these multi-liners that I've got here. I was putting stuff away yesterday, so everything should be where it is. Gen Xers were born from 1965 to 1980. I was born in 78 and turning 48 years on April 27th. Yeah, so let's see, when do millennials start? So I'm 1986. My oldest sister is Gen X. I'm not sure if my other older sister is that. What are the 3 again? We're gonna go over them right now. So I haven't officially chosen any colors yet, but I wanna talk about like their cooler or warmer properties. Just general talk. Yeah, I think a lot of them are. Okay, so first things first, 1920 is the greatest generation. I like it. Let's see. Well, see, my grandfather was born at the turn of the 19th century. So, like, what's the generation that was in 1903? 2020 is the epicenter decade full of middle-aged Xers. There you go. Oh, 1901, not 19. Oh, okay. So my grandfather would have been the greatest generation. There we go. All right, so here we have peach beige. Okay. Oh, it would help if I was doing it where you guys could see it. All right, peach beige. So this is, we're actually gonna write it out rather than the number. Oh, is this running out of ink? All right, peach beige. This one is ginger root. See, looking at peach beige, I would have said that this is, oh, YouTube's multiplicating, pushing premium. Oh, that sucks. Yeah, unfortunately, that's not one that I have control of, but yeah, that sucks. I'm sorry. Ginger root. Okay, that one's ginger root. See, in comparison, I don't know if you guys can see it or not. It's very subtle, but in comparison, ginger root versus peach beige is a little bit warmer, and this one is a little bit more yellow. I think we're gonna place our other ones here so we can see it all together. Okay, this one is 1083, which is putty beige. We can also include some French grays, which we probably will. Okay, and this last one is seashell pink. Okay, so raise the hands in the classroom. Who can see the variation in colors here? So it's hard through the screen, but what we're working with is, this one is definitely a warmer color. This one is more of a yellowish kind of beige, but this one is more yellowish, which is kind of a misnomer because you think seashell pink, surely it would be in there. So we're gonna go with red. We're gonna go yellow, yellow. This one is gonna be a blend of blue and red, because imagine somebody added like a little bit of purple to it. So it's a sub-generation between most of the ones after Boomer. Yeah, so I'm taking the Haba generation. Sue, you see it? Awesome. It wasn't until I started playing hues and cues that I realized I see color differently. Could you have those older Gen Zers that kind of fit with the millennials? Yeah, it's like the ones that are right on the cusp. So these are the 150 set. These are the 150 set of Prismacolors. Plus I have a couple extras as far as like colors that I have available. So now I have the Deco Aqua, which we used a little bit in some of the shells, but we have Deco Aqua, Deco Orange, Deco Blue, and Steel, and then I have a slew of metallic ones. But the current set that you can get is 150. You don't necessarily need the whole set. I like it, and I have backups of it. I usually wait until it's a really good deal. So if you're like, how do you even know how to shade the ripples? So here's the thing, I wanted to say this. So I have an image in my head of how I want this to look. But full disclosure, I have never colored a background like this before. I see a reference picture and I see how I want it to look, but I haven't ever successfully done this. Zilnials, I like that. That's a bit different, yeah. Born in 2000, and I consider her more of a millennial than Gen Z. That's fair, that's fair. Yeah, well for 2000, I think they technically are, right? Yes, uncharted territory, exactly. Oh, update from my new drawing pencil they've shipped. Oh, awesome, I'm so excited. That's awesome, congrats. So if you weren't familiar with what I'm talking about when there is like yellow, blue, or red mixed in, take a look at the grays. Now I have this laminated, but at one point we did this when we were talking about these colors. So Prismacolors grays are a great, words, bear with me today guys, I'm telling you words are hard. Prismacolors grays are a great way to see how different colors blend as far as like adding in the primary colors. So the way that they work is, and at 1996, Gen Z is from 1997, millennials end at 96. Okay, well then that means my brother's a millennial also. 1 month too late for millennial party. We're the cool kids club. No, I'm kidding. So there are 3 different grays for the Prismacolors. So we have the cool gray, the warm gray, and the French gray. And what that tells you is cool gray is grays mixed with blue. Yeah, we're gonna be doing a lot of that. Me too, Foggy. I have an image. We'll see if we're successful. But cool gray is grays mixed with blue, warm gray is grays mixed with red, and French gray is grays mixed with yellow. And you can see that kind of on top. So in here, the examples I did were these are all the 50% grays, these are all the 30% grays. So we have our French gray, which is mixed with yellow. Cool gray is mixed with blue, and warm gray is mixed with red. It's subtle, but that gives you kind of a direction to go on when you are trying to decide the tone that you want your paper or your background to be. So for these two, from what I can see, I definitely say these 2 browns are mixed with yellow. This one's both blue and red, and then this one is red. So for our colors, those are our lightest colors. So I think for what I want to do, I think I want to go with peach beige. It's not too strongly in one or the other, but I think we could also include putty beige. I think I'll steer clear of the super yellow ones and go for the ones that have more of the red tones. So let's go ahead and pick our colors. The way that we're going to do this is we are going to build up. First, we are going to shape what we want it to look like. Okay, so let's say that this is our sheet of paper. I know it's landscape, doesn't matter. But the point is, we are first going to take a lighter color and we are going to, we're going to shape what we want our ripples to be, okay? So let's say these are our shells, okay? I know it looks nothing like the page we're doing on, but it gives you the idea. All right, so let's say those are our shells. We map in where we want our ripples to be. Now for the picture, in this instance, most of the ripples go the same direction. We're not dealing with a huge space, and if the background is too busy, it's gonna take away from the shells that we have on the front. So we're actually gonna follow this one where everything's kind of going the same direction. Maybe some ripples are thinner than others. I'm telling you guys, I'm so sorry. I'm gonna trip over so many words today. I apologize. Okay, so this one we do a little bit larger. Let's see, I almost did a different one, but we can do a little bit larger. But we're gonna keep them all basically the same shape, okay? So Oh, thank you. So what we're going to do once we have our lines, because those are going to be the peaks. I'm just going to call them dunes for now. They're mini dunes because they're just ripples in the sand, but we're just going to call them dunes for lack of a better term. Okay, so we're going to draw in our ripples, and then we're going to, for this one, the sun is coming from the top. You can tell because it's on the bottom part. So we kind of have everything coming from the right in our page. So we're just going to have it be subtle. But what we're going to do once we have that is we're going to shade the side of the ripple first that's going to be darker. Okay. Once we have them, we're going to be going light with this because later we're going to want to add that texture that says, hey, this is sand and not like a smooth surface. Now we can introduce acrylic paint pens, which can help us to lay texture over the top. You could also do it with gouache. You could do it with gel pen, but it doesn't dry very fast. So if you were to do this with gel pen, I would go top to bottom so that you're not smearing it and let it dry completely before we move it. Because keep in mind, especially with Prismacolors, once they're down here, you can see from, put my phone on top of it, from this page that I did, you get this, especially once you burnish it, you get this very smooth kind of glossy. Now here's the thing, anything that you put over the top, gel pen does okay, but things like paint that can flake off does not adhere to this well. So that's something to keep in mind. The acrylic paint markers are a bit of a different animal in comparison to like gouache because it dries differently. Excuse me, I'm also drinking my coffee right now. So we'll probably use the acrylic pens for, acrylic paint markers for texture on top. Not saying we won't use that entirely. We'll probably do some dots with the Prismacolors themselves. And if we really need to, I have these that I bought years ago. Hi, Kristen. Well, welcome. And I haven't used them because they're so hard and so brittle. Behave the same as acrylic markers in a sense, yes. So for the acrylic markers, I did a video, I think a reel when I first got them, and I would keep a paintbrush. So if you wanted to blend like you would with acrylic paint, usually when I did it, I kept water and like a wet paintbrush on hand, and as long as the acrylic marker hadn't dried yet, I could still move it around, but it dries quickly. I tested it out. I did this. I painted a rock here, and you can see where, hang on, we're gonna get it in focus. Okay, so I added other colors, but it doesn't blend super well. I feel like if I was like a manga artist or illustrator, whatever, like anime, those kind of illustrations, I feel like it would work really well with that. If I wanted to do a full thing where I blend everything, I would probably use straight up acrylic paint. So I would say yes, it acts like acrylic paint, but no, in the sense of it dries super fast and it's hard to blend it. But as far as how it sits on top of surfaces and dries, then yes, it is the same. Little Emily got some acrylic markers for Christmas, and a couple of them dried out, and I've been toying with the idea of, because obviously it needs to be thin enough to flow, could I mix paint with a little bit of water like acrylic paint and refill the paint marker? I don't know. First small set of Prismacolors yesterday for my birthday. I'm excited to learn. Oh, awesome, Kristen. Yes, you can do so much. I don't know if it's the 12 or the 24 or whichever else, but yeah, you can do so much with a small palette. I like to do limited color palettes quite a bit. Okay, so I got these ages ago when I first started. Yeah, will do. I'm not brave enough yet, but you know, acrylic markers, but trying acrylic paint for the first time right now. Oh, fun. Are you doing it in a coloring book or on canvas? What's the 36? Awesome. Yeah, that's a good set. That's a really good set. So these Verathins, these are a Prismacolor brand. I don't even know if they probably carry these still. Okay, I bought this like a decade ago. I used a bunch of these black ones early on, but they are very hard, but they don't push down or put down much pigment. So I haven't used them much, but they're an option. It dries very slow. Yeah. I like that though, furry hurricane. Okay, so anyway, so we'll go ahead and we'll sketch in our values, and then that's when we'll start adding the dots. So that is what I have in my head. We'll see how that plays out, but that's kind of the plan for today. So I don't want to go super dark with kind of shaping this, so let's hang on one second. Okay, we're good. Steve is just letting me know that they're headed out. coloring book. I did most of the background with acrylic marker, but wanted a darker color border, did not have a fitting marker, so went to make some paints. Oh, that's good. So I don't know which book you're doing it in. Just keep in mind with a heavier paint like acrylic, make sure you dry it in between and just keep an eye on the paper for when it starts to break up. I use water medium in like these coloring books a lot, and that's my key thing, whether you're using watercolor, gouache, acrylic, whichever, dry in between layers. With acrylic, when you put your first layer down though, it's gonna kind of seal your paper. So as long as you're not oversaturating it, it should work perfectly. Let's see, gonna dash out for a quick walk and a bite to eat. We'll check back later. Sounds good. Yeah, I'm like I said, I have a vision. Let's see how it plays out. But because I want to do the dots in the sand, we're gonna do a lighter color on the background. So let's start with, let's actually grab, what did I decide I wanted to do? Putty beige, peach beige. Beige sienna is a little bit more yellow, but I think that's going to, it's not like we're like doing heavy-handed for the whole thing. So I actually think beige sienna is what we're going to use to shape our ripples. So let's see, beige sienna. Oh, it's itty bitty teeny tiny. Itty bitty. I might do myself a favor and grab an extra one of that because I don't feel like fumbling with a pencil extender. Let's see, beige sienna. There we go. And a nice new one. All right, so for these shells, I like the sizing of the ripples versus the shells. And we're gonna be expanding these kind of drop shadows that we did. Yeah, it's itty bitty baby. All right, so, but we are also going to keep track. I'm gonna grab a different multi-liner since this one is acting funky. Let's grab, yeah, that one's fine. There we go. All right, I want to keep track of what we're using here. I've been trying to make a point of stopping to do that. I feel like it just makes everything easier. Okay, so today is 3/20/26. This is the part 3 live of Inklings. Inklings shells. All right, so we're doing the background today. Okay, and first color we're using, this is in Inklings. So this is Johanna's newest book that has recently come out. She has another one coming out in October, but this is Inklings. All right, so for the background, we're starting with, I before E except after C? No, this is an exception to that rule. Beige sienna. Okay, so that is what we are starting with. Okay, we'll put this over here. Oh, total side note. You guys ever want to know what comes of the, so when you guys use, oh, awesome. When you guys use my Amazon links, I get a small commission from them. And sometimes if I hit a certain threshold of things being sent out, like, and it's just from me listing, you know, what I'm using on the page or whatever else. But occasionally if people use it enough, I'll get like a small bonus. And it came in perfectly this month because my beloved headphones that Steve bought for me when we were moving out of the apartment, those of you that have been here a while, remember when that was? Amazon US. So they're the ones that I have Amazon US for. I think I'd have to set up a separate one for UK. So yeah, that one's for US. Yeah, I don't know about the UK one. But he bought these for me when we were moving from the apartment because my regular headphone cords were getting caught on boxes. And so this was a moving treat for myself. And I have used these daily since then. How many years was that? 4? 5 years? Anyway, I didn't realize how much the sound was starting to go out of them, but it's at the point where if I tilt them the wrong way, they turn off. They weren't really holding a charge. And I was just like, because I didn't really want to get any, because I think these were like 40 when he got them. But again, that was 5 years ago. Nothing is as cheap as it is. But anyway, the gift card that came in, because they come in on the 18th, was enough for me to obtain new headphones. And oh my gosh, I had no idea that the sound was going out on my other ones until I put these on. And I had it set to the volume that I had those headphones. I had to turn it down by like half. I'm like, oh, so I'm not going deaf. That's nice to know. So they're purple. These ones are the next, they're not, I don't do Beats or anything. It's JBL brand. I really like them because they're over the ear. Or no, they're on the ear instead of over. So these don't press on my glasses. But they've even got an app to go with them. I was like, friggin' fancy. But yeah, it covered the cost of new headphones. So thank you guys for using my links because I was able to replace my headphones that were broken. I can't listen to Audible without my headphones. And I don't like the earbuds. They get caught on everything. Anyway, sorry. That was just a little me treat. I got this week and I was excited for it. So I wanted to thank you guys for using my links. All right, so beige sienna is what we're starting with. I'm gonna leave this little picture here for both my reference and your guys's. So, oh yeah, for sure. No, I love the JBL ones. I was a little disappointed because they were marked as 50 when I put them to, you know, save for later. But then I got, you know, I had it in my cart. So it's like, oh, hey, by the way, these went up $10. And I'm like, no. But I really, really want it. I'm like, it's fine. It's still covered in it. So, you know, it's all good. So JBL is the brand. You want to know one of the reasons that I thought about, that's the link for it, that I thought about JBL. You know, everybody, when you hear like good headphones, you think like Bose or Beats or whatever else. But you know, I don't have to have those super like massive brands. The reason that I was comfortable with JBL is because I remember in the church that I grew up in, you know, when you're a kid, you notice things if you're kind of zoning out because you're bored or whatever. But I distinctly remember that we had a big box JBL speaker on like the stage podium area that the pastor spoke on. And I just remembered that logo and I'm like, well, heck, man. If this company's been around since like the 80s and it's still around, surely it's got to be good. And these ones are a little tight because I haven't worn them in yet. Like I could forget that I was wearing those ones. These are the 520. Those were the 510. But they are honestly the most comfortable headphones that I've ever had. And yeah, I love them. Oh, you have them too. Nice. Yeah, no, and I got the purple ones. They're super cute. Like I said, it has an app. Anyway. Oh my gosh, it's 10:42. Maybe we'll go a little bit late today. All right, Shannon, wait, are you streaming today? We'll see. Let's get as much of this background done as we can. All right, I'm gonna stop getting distracted. Side quests, squirrel, we're good. Okay, so we have beige sienna and we're gonna start sketching this in. Let's see. Can you lay down with them on your shoulder? No. So I don't have face cam on today, but no, I can't. So they'll sit like this. So yeah, I can't lay down with them on my side. Oh, at 1:30. Oh, okay. So we actually got time. Yeah, no, these are great. These are really great. So these ones were 60. The 510s, which is what these were. Oh, I set them over here. Which is what these were, are $10 cheaper. Are $10 cheaper. I only went for the, you can see actually how much more loose these ones are that I've worn over years because these aren't touching as much. These ones are a bit more snug. So these are the 510s, these are the 520s. These are $10 cheaper than these ones are. So absolutely, like, if you wanted to go for a little bit more, yeah. I just heard these try to turn on, but they're not working. But I got a solid like 4 or 5 years out of them before the battery started to crap out. So we Googled it. Apparently it's an acceptable lifespan for headphones. But yeah, those are the 510s. These are the 520s. Yeah, I love them. Lurky, there we go. Thank you, Kim. Okay, so beige sienna. We're gonna start sketching in our sand dunes here. I'll have to put like a note in the description of like the timestamp of when we actually started this because people are gonna, I don't want to sit there 45 minutes of this girl talking. Well, we do that a lot here. So I'm not gonna make them all perfectly like shaped exactly the same. So, you know, some areas it'll be close together, some areas will be thinner. Let's see, I'm gonna see, can I lower this a little bit? I just want you guys to be able to see the lines. It's really light right now, but there's a reason for that. Just because I don't want a really heavy line, but I want to be able to shape this. So let's do over here. Okay, if we go here, that's there. Go. Let's see, that's really far down from there. So let's actually start over here. Okay, that's gonna come there. Bring it here. curve this one up just a little bit. Okay, that's good. Okay. In hindsight, I could have done these more horizontally, but it's okay. We're making it work. All right, let's do a little bit wider here. Okay, I don't want to go completely around this shell. We're going to go under. We're going to kind of break that line a little bit. Okay. Let's see. Let's do here. Okay. So now we're going to change that shape just a little bit. Nope, that's too curved. We're going to go ahead and do it there. See, and this is why we're sketching it, so we can try and get this in as easily as possible. I want to make sure you guys can see it. I know it's really light, but it'll get darker once we start adding in. Okay. Yeah, let's curve that. See, it's coming in a little too straight. Let's curve that there instead. And this one, we're going to change the line to there. Yeah, that's better. Okay, so this one, we're gonna go like so. We don't want to lose that curve. For streaming or with the grandchildren too, have to be on the replay code? No worries, no worries. Yeah, well, with spring break and everything, schedules are just not the norm. Okay, and then we'll do our last one there. Okay, I like that. I like that. So we're actually going to use the putty beige. Is that what we're using? No, beige sienna to start kind of shading in our shadows. That being said, if you look at the picture, not all shadows are created equal. These ones that are kind of further away are a little bit lighter. These are a little bit darker. Of course, of course. Wait, is there someone else that's streaming right now? I don't, like, I try to make sure I'm following like everybody that I know everybody kind of visits. No one on my list is streaming right now, which means maybe I'm missing someone. Let me know who else is streaming. I'll look them up later. Okay, so I think we'll go ahead and, so our light, we've had it coming this way, and they're darker on the right side over here. But I think in our case, I want to make it darker. Oh, Angela's on tonight. Okay, awesome. I want to make it darker on our left side. So it's not identical. When you pull pictures just off Google, excuse me, sorry, it's just my coffee. That's fair, Adele. Honestly, fair. All right, that's less the coffee. Yeah, you can use it as inspiration, but it doesn't mean that you need to copy it completely. I just try to be careful because sometimes I will unknowingly grab a AI one. I was trying to get a dinosaur scales reference once. I might have told you guys this already. And I got it and I was like, oh yeah, those are pretty colors. And it wasn't until after I was staring at it for a little bit, I realized the dinosaur had 5 legs. I'm like, I know historically there's a little bit of a question mark as to what they truly look like, but I'm pretty sure they didn't have 5 legs. So I was like, yeah, that one's not right. Okay. So I want to do our darkest areas on the left-hand side, but that means that the shadow from the shells are also going to be on the left-hand side. So something to keep in mind when we get there. But for now, we are working on just shaping our ripples in the sand. Okay. I'm not going heavy at all. We're just kind of, consider this like your color blocking kind of deal. So we're doing the left side first, and then we'll bring it over onto the other side. Let's see. Zoom in a little bit. There we go. I know because it's really light, but can you guys see that at all, that little bit of shading that we're getting? Okay, let's see. Did I curve that up or did I decide to, I think I decided to keep that straight. Okay. Oh yeah, I use a ton. As a person with current dinosaur obsession, I can't confirm there's no dinosaur species of 5 legs. Yeah, and it was like a stegosaurus. I mean, granted, it was also like a purple stegosaurus, so that probably should have been my first clue, but I was like, oh look, pretty colors. I just can't believe it took me so long to realize that the dang picture had 5 legs. Okay, now in our picture it gets lighter as we go up, so we don't necessarily need to fill as much of the page with the shadow. These areas here where the shell is going to cast more of a shadow, we can go ahead and go move it to there. All right, and then the top one, we'll just add a little bit here. Now let's bring it over, draw it across. So let's see, let's do here. Okay. Like I said, this is just our color blocking. We don't want it too dark because we're going to be adding in those grains of sand. I mean, you guys know how I love my stippling and pointillism, so definitely be using that. We want that texture. See, that line went there. Right? I didn't think to check to like verify it for multiple sources, so this could have totally been not true at all. But I thought I saw that there was a dinosaur fossil that was recovered. It was like a tail of a dinosaur that, you know, in a very Jurassic Park fashion, was caught in resin, like tree resin, amber, and it showed that the tail had feathers. If it's true, again, anytime I see any news, I try to corroborate it. I just didn't for that one because I was like, oh, that's kind of cool, it's true. But anyway, if it's true, yeah, it preserved feathers, which would be really cool. Change what we think about them. Okay. All right. We've got our shadow in. Okay, so now, what was the other color we decided on? So we did putty beige. We're gonna grab, let's grab peach beige. And again, we're gonna be going lightly. So peach beige is 1085. That's this one. Let's give it a quick sharpen. Okay. Now, let's see. Do we want to, I don't think I want to do cream. Yeah, you know, we'll just start with this and we're going to fill in the rest. So peach beige, 1085. Okay, so we are just going to fill this in now. Not too heavy because I still don't want to lose those lines from the putty beige. Also have signs of feathers or skin calls with melanosomes, organelles, or small parts. Ah, okay. Hi, Linda. How are you? That's cool. Okay. So what we're going to do next is we're going to go back in with a darker color to help define those ripples, but we're going to add a little bit of texture when we do that. Pretty sure some dinosaurs are feathery, but T-Rex definitely wasn't, at least an adult. If I had to go back in time as a dinosaur, I'd probably go with a T-Rex. I mean, was there anyone further on the top of the food chain than a T-Rex? I'd be down with that. Tiny arms, but, you know, intimidating. Yeah, that or like a saber cat or something. Or if you're going based off Ice Age, don't want to be a dodo. I could be Scrat. A bigger T-Rex. Okay, that'll do it. That'll do it. Most of you that have been here know this fun fact. But if you're new, my fun fact is that briefly, I went to college with the little girl from Jurassic Park. Apparently Jeff Goldblum is a very nice fellow. She was nice enough. She wasn't totally thrilled when people started speculating who she was, and then it eventually came out, but yeah. To be fair, being big is not always good. There were definitely dinosaurs who could mess up T-Rexes real good. Yeah, I can imagine. Okay, so just a little bit there. Okay, so our shape has kind of disappeared, but I can see it still. So now we're gonna go in with a little bit darker brown. So let's grab our French Gray 50. French Gray 50. Oh, cool. We got a nice long one for that one. Right. Super glued it together. Thanks, Lori. Had to be a dinosaur. Pick one of the massive sauropods, e.g. Argentinosaurus. I don't know all the specifics, but what would be a commonly known dinosaur close to that? Like Stegosaurus? I feel like a Littlefoot, a Brontosaurus would be good. All right, so we're gonna go in with the French Gray 50 now, and we are going to define this a little bit more. But one of the things that we're gonna start doing, and I will do my best to move around so that you guys can see what I'm doing close up. Let's lighten this up. There we go. All right, so sandbar. Let's see, how close? Oh, a sandbar would be fitting. Where is sand? Oh, sandbar is right above it. It's a little too greenish. We might use that for some of our darker colors, but it was a little too greenish for my taste. So what we're gonna do now is we're gonna do kind of like a scumbling technique a little bit, but it's gonna start to help bring out that texture, because I certainly don't want to start doing some dark, heavy lines. I will say though, with that, I was telling you I was adjusting to a new medicine this week, but it made my tremors worse. They're better now, obviously, but that's one of the reasons I was like watching this, because my heart rate goes up when they're worse. Anyway, but it's beside the point. This texture is perfect for someone with tremors. We just, you know, shake all the way across the page. Basically, those massive dinosaurs with long necks. Ah, yes. Diplodocus brontosaurus. Okay. Oh, let's see. Kelly, hello. Peeking for a dark. Quick question before they call me back. Does the Staedtler tripless fine liners lay down on top of Prisma? It can, but because they're waxy, I did this in early day. If you have a thick layer of Prismacolor, no. If you have a thin layer, yes. But the downside is because they're so waxy, it can clog up the tip of your fine liner and ruin your fine liner. So it depends on how much Prismacolor you have laid down. If you have a solid full layer of Prismacolor and you wanted to put a little bit of something on top, I would suggest a gel pen or some other kind of like paint marker or something like that. Birds do have scales on their legs, feathers elsewhere, but pretty much every color exists, even some visible to the human. See, I love the idea of that. Colors that we haven't discovered yet. Like that would be, as an artist, that just thrills me. Isn't there like a term, like a tetrachrome for something for people that can see a bit more than others? See, I feel like this kind of scumbling technique is working better than like a bunch of dots would be. Hi, Natalie, how are you? Okay. So this is definitely the part where it slows down. What we might do so we can get to all the steps is I may focus on like a section. Oh, we didn't write down what we're using here. Hang on. 1085 was peach beige. Okay, so peach beige. Okay, and then I'm gonna go down a dot because now we're going in with like a different, like we're kind of adding in more detail now. So we're gonna go down a dot and we're gonna do 50% French gray. So that is what we use so far. Oh, nice. That's patience. There we go. There's a limitation comparing dinosaurs to today's birds. Relegated is not always the same. Yeah. All right. So we're going to continue with this. See, if you do this kind of, I wasn't sure how I was going to do this texture, if it was going to be dots or what, but this whole kind of scumbling where basically you're doing lots of little circles, this seems to be doing pretty well. And I'm pressing just a little bit harder on that edge that I want to pop out. Because if we focus in this corner too, we can do the extra shadow that we need on the shell. So it's not like perfect circles, like I'm doing kind of squiggly circles. But I'm just kind of scribbling in a very specific direction rather than a full line. The grays with percents, yeah, same. Full set of Prism, only have 12 now, I love them, but rage quit because one pencil just keeps, oh yeah, they're such a soft core pencil, that can happen, especially if like the pencils were roughly handled during shipping. What I would recommend, now I haven't done this myself, but it's what I've heard other people doing. First of all, do not put your pencil in the microwave to heat it because this is metal lettering and you might cause a fire. However, you could, if where you're at, it's particularly warm outside, you could leave them in the sun, or if the dryer is running, you could set them on top of the dryer, because the theory is applying heat will help to kind of remelt those cores together a little bit. But yeah, that's so frustrating when that happens. I know some people who got like the Derwent drawing and they had like a couple colors that were just consistently breaking over and over. Yes, yes, sometimes they do. And I don't know about the exchange rate for dollars and versus euros, but yes, one dropped. Shannon got it really cheap one time, if I remember correctly. But yeah, the last time one of them dropped really low, I had the income to do it. That's why I have these drawers full of extra Prismacolors, because at one point when there was a really big sale, I purchased another set, and then I have a few individuals that I've gotten over the years, but that's why I have so many backups, is because I purchased the secondary set when they were really cheap. So I've got these pastel storage boxes that I keep all of my backups in, so I can just grab a new one when I need it. Slightly more than $1, maybe 1.1, yeah. You know, it's so funny. I told you guys, I think I told you guys, I wanted to show the kids the movie Richie Rich. Was, you know, it was a 90s one. That being said, I'm going to preface this. Some of the jokes that they did not age well. For whatever reason, the two characters in the movie, now again, it was the 90s, so the 90s were not kind. But the two characters that were heavier set in the movie, their shtick was they just made them eating all the time. I'm like, dear God, like I didn't notice it when I was a kid, but even the kids, we were watching and they're like, why are they doing that? I'm like, all right, some of this did not age well. And like looking at it now, I'm just like, oh my gosh, that's so terrible. Like one of the main characters, everybody's in trouble, but he just has to go back just to grab a salami out of the fridge and take a bite. And I'm like, really? This is not okay. But aside from that, it worked out really well. Where was I going with that story? Sorry, I got derailed by that. It's like I was thinking about it a lot, and I was just like, this did not age well. Oh, the dollar. So in the movie, the wife references that the husband, the dad, who's, you know, the dad of Richie Rich, is worth $70 billion. Now, this movie came out in 1994. So I was curious, what was the dollar compared to now in 1994? And it's essentially doubled. So while they had $70 billion and had, you know, what was then top of the line technology, their own McDonald's, yada, yada, that would translate to 140 billion these days. But like, I know Oprah is like technically the richest woman in the world, right? I'm trying to think. I know she's in the billions, but I don't know what it is. But yeah, the characters in this were supposed to have had $70 billion, which would translate to 140 billion. But yeah, I was very distracted watching it going, oh my God, like I didn't even look up who was the director. And again, it was the 90s, so things were done a little bit different, but I was just like, holy crap, they could have given that character a little bit more depth other than they just eat all the time. I'm like, yeah, Rich is in the US. Yeah, I was thinking that as I was saying, I was like, is it the world? Might be the US. But I was just cracking up at the differences because I had to preface it with the kids because I was just like, all right, what you need to understand is all of this stuff, which is of course like ancient, like there's the dad link where, you know, Macaulay Culkin's character can get in touch with his dad, you know, wherever he's at, whatever meeting. But essentially all it is, it's a cell phone with GPS. And I was like, okay, so like you have to understand what they're representing is top of the line technology, things that isn't related. But in 1994, the idea of having GPS on your phone was so like obscure. Anyway, I definitely had to explain a few things, but they enjoyed it. Was the richest lady in the UK? Yeah, that would make sense. Hi, Angela. How are you? But next on the list of things I want to watch with them, they've seen Muppets from Space. I was there 3,000 years ago. They've seen Muppets from Space. They watched some Muppet movies with Steve, but one of the ones they haven't seen because when we initially tried, they got freaked out by the pirates. So they were too young for it. But I want to show them Muppet Treasure Island next. I was not around in 1994. Okay, so we just did the French gray. So now we're gonna do our second color with the little scumbling and everything. Do I want to bring beige sienna back and go a little bit heavier, or actually no? Let's grab light umber. We're gonna grab light umber. We have another small light umber, so I'm actually just gonna grab a long one and make it easier on myself. There we go. Light umber. Yes, that's the other thing that I love about Prismacolors. I'm so familiar with them, I don't necessarily need to look at the names. Okay, so now we're gonna go in with light umber. Okay, light umber. Okay, that's where we're at for now, just 4. Okay, I'm gonna give it a quick sharpen because I want a nice sharp point. Thank you. I realized I need to go over it a little bit more and kind of lighten these black lines here. So I'll probably need to touch that up. Okay, so light umber. Now we're gonna go in a little bit heavier. Okay. Again, doing that kind of twitchy scumbling. See, this actually works out. I don't think we're gonna need to do a bunch of dots. Again, I kind of had an image in my head and we're just sort of letting it play out. So we're going to continue this for the shadow. So like I said, what we've been doing on the page is that the light is coming from the right. Therefore, everything here is going to have we're probably going to use like a darker French gray to cast that shadow a bit more. But for the current dunes, we're just sort of shaping them at the moment. And if you missed it, this is the page we're kind of using for inspiration for creating this. Like I said, I want a really sharp point. We're using the Doll 133. Not putting too much pressure. We'll add darker colors like when we get close, like when we start layering more. Don't want it too dark. We still want it like a nice light sand color. But yeah, so we're just kind of doing this little scribbly sort of technique. Like I said, I'm not going across the whole page because I want to be able to get like a full like ripple effect done here for you guys. Because what we'll probably do is I'll catch up with the rest of the background. And then on our last stream, on the last day of March, so that's going to be March 27th, we'll finish up the bottom 2 shells and wrap up this page. And that is going to be the same stream that we do the giveaway for additional charms. So if you have a quilt square and you want a chance to add a few more charms, if you've got the space, I'm going to give away 10 charms. I will try and get caught up on the squares before then. That way, those of you who have purchased charms can see if you have any more on your space. And then April, I can't say that I'll get it done by the birthday stream, but April is when I'm going to be putting the quilt together finally. If you're new here and you're not sure what project, we can't get any more squares, but if you're curious what it is about, you can do !quilt. And that will take you to the webpage on my website that kind of explains what the project is. We've been working on it for a couple years now, so it's definitely more than time to get that quilt put together. I haven't hung them back up on the board yet because I'm just going to be taking them all down and making room for it. But yes, I believe you did. Yeah, I think you got all the tassel colors. So whatever stream it was that I did the last update, that's how far updated we are. I haven't been catching up on them because it's like we're almost at the end. I'd rather just kind of like do them all at once. Okay, so that is the light umber. Now we're going to go ahead. It'll be 10 a.m. Yeah, it'll be normal time. Okay, so we may actually, even though it's more of a yellowish one because I want to fill it in, we may actually go ahead and do Seashell Pink. I think we'll go ahead and do that one. So that one is, Seashell Pink is this one? Yes, so 1093. So we're gonna write that down. Okay, so, oh my gosh, I can't spell. Okay, Seashell Pink. Okay, we're gonna fill in the rest of the space with the Seashell Pink. And we're gonna press a little bit harder because I want that texture to be visible. We still have a lot of layers to go. This needs to darken up quite a bit. Okay, so now we're just gonna use this to fill in the rest. But because we're doing that kind of scumbling, that's gonna take care of our texture for the sand. Piece of paper under your page. I keep thinking you're gonna go over the side on the page underneath. I do not. Mostly right now, because this isn't a very like messy pencil, All I'm getting is some transfer ink, which happens, and so that can just be erased. If I was using like a more kind of messy medium, I probably would. Once more, they'll grow. Oh no. Okay. Well, Jeanette, send me an email. I can get that switched up. I want to make sure that everybody who has points that want to get their last few charms can get them. So yeah, if you're struggling, send me an email and I can manually redeem them. All right. Seashell pink. See, it is still kind of yellow, but we're going to be going over it again with some other colors to kind of warm it up a little bit. I guess yellow is warm, but I'm thinking like in terms of red. But we're doing that kind of scumbling thing to get the texture. Of course, of course. Yeah, I don't want anyone to feel like they missed out because, you know, if the website wasn't working or whatever else, that's why it's nice that I can manually redeem things if I need to. Yeah, exactly. A couple more charms from Mr. Mona? Yes, absolutely. Yeah, I will come with an update on next stream so that, like I said, anybody that has charms will know fully what they have. And then, yeah, April will be the month of putting the quilt together. I'll need to get out my sewing machine. My plan is, because I left a 1-inch allowance around all of the squares, my plan is to use masking tape and to tape down all the charms so everything stays put and doesn't, you know, swing around when I'm sewing it. And then the tape will get removed once I have everything together. I also need to stop by Hobby Lobby and get some batting so I can put that together too. Ah, it's gonna be so exciting. I can't remember what the final count for all the squares was. It was 100 some odd. We got quite a few. Okay, and let's do a little bit here too. Yeah, I don't think we're gonna need to do dots at all. This kind of scribbly thing is doing the trick. I'm doing slightly bigger movements with the seashell pink, but it's so light. It's not gonna show too much if I'm not super precise. Just turning my pencil to get that sharp point a bit. Okay, so we're there. All right, now for our next color to build on top. Let's see. When you put the quilt together, they shouldn't. No, they shouldn't because they're all stitch on. Hang on, I'll grab a square real quick. I've just got them all sitting right here. Oh, here we go. I got CC's in mine because mine was on the top of the stack. So that's mine all finished. So we got this one is CC's. So what I'll do is I'm going to take I have wide masking tape. So I'm going to take a square of the masking tape. There you go. A square of the masking tape and just cover this. So it's going to be completely immobile. And like I said, I gave myself a 1-inch seam allowance on all of the squares. So we're going to tape all of this down so they won't move. And then I'll just do what you do normally because I can feel where the charms are and then just stitch right there. So everything will be taped down as I'm putting it together. And then when it's all done, because I don't want to leave the masking tape on there for like a super long time because I don't want to leave any sticky residue. So I'll probably like remove it once I'm not sewing around any of its edge at all. But yeah, I'm going to use masking tape to hold everything down and keep it in place, stitch together, and then the masking tape will come off. And everything's pretty well stitched. Everything's got, you know, double and triple knots on the back, so it shouldn't come off. Because it's also not going to go like on a bed or anything. You know, we'll hang it up. We'll hang it up on the back. So yeah, everything should be pretty secure. Where did oh, there's my nose. Like I'm missing something here. But yeah, that's why I put a limit like of 8 because I knew if I did any more than 8, unless they were really small, I wouldn't be able to have that 1-inch allowance. Okay, so for our next one. See, this is all very vibrant. As you can tell, this is all very light. So we're going for something that has that much color. So we're actually going to go back to our darkest color and let's go in with, I'm thinking espresso. Actually, we're going to darken it up quite a bit now. That's kind of how it works is I need to like start getting my colors in and lay them down and be like, okay, where are we going to go with this next? All right, it is small-ish. Like I said, I'm just going to be nice to myself and get bigger ones. Okay, espresso. espresso. Here we are. Okay, give it a quick sharpen. And now we can be brave enough to add in some darker colors. Okay. There we go. All right, let's zoom back in. Oh, absolutely it is. Like if it was just me and I wasn't filming, you could see even in a couple of the pages that I filmed recently, like we definitely had pencil extenders for them. Sometimes it's just easier rather than trying to fumble with it. All right, so now we got espresso. There we go. Words are That was the other thing too in one of the, not this last How to Color Flowers, but the one previously that I released. There's a part about 22, 23 minutes in where a lead breaks, since I slowed it down, added some sound effects. I was like, who can find the Easter egg? Because it broke off and I was like, wee! Kids were cracking up at it. Okay, so like I said, we're going, and this espresso will be good to use for additional shadow colors, like the drop shadow on the shells. And then after this, I think we'll actually go in with, honestly, probably light umber again, only go darker. Go. Yeah, I like that. We're not having to do like the dots at all. It's all just this kind of scribbling. Get this a little bit more on the shadow. Yeah, like I said, I had a vision in my head of what I wanted this to look like, but I wasn't quite sure how we'd get there, but I am pleased with what we have accomplished. And I just flip the pencil around so I can get the sharpest point so I don't get too dull on the little scribbles, because the scribbles are what's giving us the texture. But that's why I like building up light at first, because then I can start to see like, okay, how much darker should this be? Actually, you know what? I think we're just going to focus on these two areas so we can be sure to get this complete. Okay, so that was the espresso. Okay. I'm going in order for these. So I'm going to write down light umber again because we're about to use it, but I'm going to put like a little asterisk and then I'll like mark an asterisk however, you know, so like the second time it'll have, you know, this one asterisk, third time we'll have the two asterisks. That way we can just keep track of what we're using. So now what we're going to go in for is the light umber again, but we're going to mark that because obviously it's a color we've already listed. We're just using it again. Okay. I actually really like that I'm utilizing this. I think it's going to be a lot easier for people that follow along so they can just like screenshot the list. Okay. All right. So now we're going to go with light umber and we are going to go a bit heavier now. Go over that same espresso area. We might actually end up using a little bit of cream as well. Telling you, shaky hands, no problem. Do sand. Let's get a little bit darker over here. We may go in, and in fact, I can say we probably will go in with a little bit more espresso right up next to that. Because you can see in the picture, like underneath that top big shell, it's super dark. Now, these aren't lifted up, like they're not pointed up like that other one, but it's more going to be more like this, let's see, you know, the larger scallop shell that's there. And you can see, actually, there is some lighter color. So in fact, let's shape that a little bit where I think this area here, or maybe like there, this will be lighter where it's resting in the sand. Yeah, I like that. So let's do the same thing there. It's going to shape where that's going to be a little bit. Okay. So let's do right here. go. Let's bring this down a little bit more spaced. Okay, let's see, let's do this. Yeah, I think we'll just focus on the sand that's fully around this shell. So let's go ahead and grab our espresso again. I want to define this ridge just a little bit more. And I'm not marking this one down because I would have normally done this. I've just been kind of deciding as we go along how much I want to show. Kim! Kim, no dying! No dying allowed! No dying on stream! Oh my gosh, death by water, are you okay? Espresso, we're gonna do the light umber. No death allowed! Oh my gosh. Honestly though, that's totally something I would do. We're kindred spirits, Kim. Alright, you okay now? Do we need to call an ambulance? Good for now. Okay, sweet. Yeah, no dying allowed. Now, one of the things that we can do, now that I know I want to do this kind of like little, you know, lighter edge right where it's resting. Let's see, where is my erasers drawer? Here we go. We're going to grab our little handheld eraser. Make sure there's a little bit of blue here. We don't want that transferring. Okay, it's just a little half-matte eraser. And what I want to do is I want to lift the color right here. That's one nice thing about not pressing too hard yet is we can still shape this a little bit. Hang on one second. Okay. All right, so let's grab our espresso again. I want to leave just that little bit of sand around the edge there. Oh, just kind of where it's resting. Okay, let's bring this up. Okay. So we're just going back and forth between that espresso and the light umber, trying to get all the shaping done. So this is an half-matte eraser. I should have it linked in the description, but it's a little handheld half-matte. It comes with 2 different size erasers, this itty-bitty tiny one, which is what I use mostly, and then a large one. This was a gift from a lovely, lovely lady, and I use it absolutely all the time. Okay. Yeah, I like that. Let's see, does it have it all along the edge? No, it does phase out a little bit. Oh, sounds good, Alex. Good morning. Hi. wait, here we go. We'll do it over here. There you go. Hi, Alex. There we go. You got no sound. Okay, so let's see. So the lightest point is there, so we shouldn't carry that over. If we're going to do any of this, we should, because the definition of the ripples is there. Some of it's just lighter. Learn sign language. You know, what's funny is I took ASL I took ASL in college. So A-L-E, what's X? See, that's R-X? I think that's X, right? Yeah. Bye, Angela. Thanks for being here. For me, ASL is kind of like Spanish. On my end, like I wouldn't be able to translate someone very quickly, but on my end, if I needed to communicate with someone, I think that is not X. What is X? We're doing good. Now that's gonna bother me. Hang on, well, I guess you can't show me. Hang on. Sign language alphabet. Here we go. All right, what is X? Oh no, that is X. Yeah, that one is X. So we have, let's see, we got A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, there we go, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, and Z. Yeah, R is, yeah, that one. Yeah, so I remember my alphabet, and I remember a few signs like, you know, cat, and, you know, you go, my name is E-M-I-L-Y. So I know enough. Actually, I think I told you guys this story before. Got them backwards, yeah. Oh, it's hard to remember them. So I was at the grocery store one day, and there was a gentleman standing by. I was at Walmart, that's what it was, and I was getting a coffee machine for Steve's office. Now, it's all come back to me now. Anyway, it was early in the morning, and there wasn't many people there, and there was a guy standing in line behind me, and he was gesturing, trying to talk to me about the coffee maker that I had on there. And it was just, you know, making small talk, but he was deaf and he was signing. And so, you know, initially, if you came across someone who didn't know sign, they might, you know, like brush him off or whatever else. But I knew enough to be able to communicate with him. And rather than, you know, be like, you know, just standing there smiling like, oh yeah, you know, from what I understood. And then I asked him, I spelled it out, like, can you go slower? Like, it wasn't that I was just not conversing with him and ignoring him. I said, you know, can you go slower? He understood that I knew a little bit, and we had a very brief conversation. But when I asked him to go slower to show that I was listening and that I was trying to understand, right, his eyes just lit up. And I was just like, and that just made my day. It was, you know, I think we only spoke like 2 or 3 sentences, but I think he really enjoyed the fact that I made the effort to talk to him rather than just brush him off, be like, oh yeah, you know, nice, weird old man trying to talk to me. And like, no, I made the effort. I was like, okay, slow down, go a little bit slower. Like, I think I can do this. And you could just tell it made his day that someone who clearly does not regularly speak ASL, but understood enough, took the time to be like, you know, he didn't take it as a rude thing where I said, you know, slow down or whatever. It was like his eyes lit up and he's like, oh, this is so cool because somebody was doing it. I'll never forget that. That was a great day. I just you know, it wasn't like, you know, I was single and flirting with a cute guy. No, it was literally just a random elderly gentleman in the checkout line at Walmart. We exchanged 3 sentences and we both walked away from that conversation, you know, smiling ear to ear. And I was just like, aw, it just literally made my day. He was just so pleased that someone was making an effort to converse. Yeah, life's like that. And it makes sense. Like literally, crisscross, X, this looks like an R. Yeah, no. Yeah, worst case scenario, I know my alphabet so I can like spell words. And also sometimes you can gesture in ways and like point at what you're talking about to make it through. So yeah, I know enough ASL to muddle through if there was an emergency situation. Spanish a little bit, but that's because, you know, there's some base Spanish words that can break down like in the English language. Okay, so that was espresso and umber. Now we're going to start filling it a little bit more. Let's do peach beige. So much easier. Oh, is he more deaf? Okay, let's do, what do we say? Peach beige, so 1085. 1085, here we go. Let's write down. Because I think, maybe. Right, yeah, I would not be having, you know, super fast, fluent conversations at all. Thank you. All right, so now we're going to switch to seashell. Was it? No, peach beige is what it was. So we did it up there, but we're going to do it again. So peach beige. Okay, and we're going to put a little asterisk next to it because that's the second round. No R words, no X words, or I'm doomed. There you go. Okay, so now we're going to go a little bit heavier. Okay, let's see. We've already got kind of a nice sharp point from where that was. So we're going to have this be our main light color. So we're going to press a little bit harder, get it all the way down. His hearing gets worse every year. He was always a little hard of hearing. So now there's any background noise at all, it's no go. Yeah, that's fair. Does he, is it kind of where, not in denial, but does he get like frustrated when people aren't hearing him? Or is it more of like, would he accept suggestion of like ASL or something? I know sometimes like losing an ability, like that can be frustrating, especially like when you're used to doing things one way and then having to learn something new. I think I was telling him it's always been that way for me. Dang, non-signed teaching Girl Scout leaders. Probably. Oh, he checks out. Oh, that's rough. That's real rough. All right, see, I like this. We're getting darker. It's looking like sand now, right? Let's move this down. Here we go. Like, I have a few things where, like, if I could choose any superpower, we're going to sharpen this, you know, it would be teleportation or telekinesis or whatever else. But I think if I could choose, if we were talking skills I could learn automatically. One, I would love to be able to play the piano proficiently. I love the piano, but do not have the patience to learn it, like, proficiently. So if I could have any skills, it would be play the piano proficiently and be able to speak any language. Like, speak and understand any language. I think that would be really cool. The kids do Duolingo, and I've debated about doing it, but because I monitor the kids' phones, like I have parental stuff, so I can see, you know, how much time they're spending on apps, not exactly what they're watching, but basically it's just a general. But because of that, I also get their emails that are linked to their phones. And so they have an email that's linked to Duolingo, and Duolingo will send very passive-aggressive emails and silently judge them if they forget a day. And so it's like, I want to do Duolingo, but also I feel like I'd be getting in trouble. Like, my anxiety would feel so bad if I missed a day. I'd be like, oh, the owl's gonna yell at me. I demand a new patch. So, like, I don't know if I want to deal with Duo's passive-aggressive guilt, you know? Actually, we're gonna do peach beige all the way here because it's the lighter one. This is our, like, lightest color. So we're gonna fill that in, and then we'll add the darker stuff to shape that. I don't know, does anybody here do Duolingo? If I were to do Duolingo to learn anything, though, I would probably study Korean, because we would love to go there someday. You know, if the opportunity comes up to meet Steve's biological siblings or something, I think that would be cool. The kids actually really like it too. So little Emily is learning Korean. I want to say little Steve is working on French. Maybe? I think he's doing French. But yeah, I feel like I have the Finch app, which, you know, it helps me do like chores and keep track of tasks, but it doesn't send me like angry passive-aggressive messages on how I forgot to do it. Like, I'm sorry. Please don't yell at me. Okay, so that was the peach beige. We need to get a little bit darker now. I kind of want to add in a slightly warmer brown. I feel like, okay, so we're gonna do sienna brown. It's a very kind of rich brown compared to what we've been doing, but I want to get a little bit more color in here. Thanks. Yeah, these backgrounds will take a little while. Yes, it's definitely up to how much you're willing to put into it. Okay, so sienna brown is hold down my headphones. 945. Is this it? Yes. Ooh, I have an old school sienna brown. You can tell because the lettering on it. So it's the gold lettering with the different font and different placement of the number. All right, so we're not going to go quite as heavy on this, but I do want to add a little bit of richness to our sand. Okay. Oh, not quite there. I want it nice and pointed. There we go. Yeah, this would definitely be a bit of a time-consuming sand. All right, so sienna brown. Okay. Gonna start bringing in some of that. Going very lightly. I'm not pressing too hard because I don't want it to be completely overwhelming. But we are going to go in with some shadows so it looks like it's pressed into the ripples and not necessarily just laying on top. That's why we did these kind of lighter areas to help give it a little bit of a shape. Yeah, I'm glad we just ended up doing a section too, because I don't think we could get through this entire thing. Oh, I did a little bit of more of a line there. Because we're doing a non-light color, I want to be careful how much definition we're putting in this sand. But that's why that little pinpoint sharpener is nice. Get a little bit of that richness in there. Let's bring it down just a little bit. I'm not pressing hard at all. I'm going super, super light. The further back you hold your pencil, the lighter your strokes will be. Yeah, it can definitely be a bit time consuming. I should not have done that much darkness there. Hang on. And actually, if I erase in dots, that kind of helps adds to the texture. Okay. Leaving that little light spot around the edge. Yeah, you end up doing a lot of layers, especially when you're like emulating a picture like this. Obviously you can see this is a lot darker. So we're gonna go in now. Did I write down the sienna brown? I did not. Oh, absolutely I erased, 100%. 100%. All right, we're gonna write down sienna brown. Okay, so now we're gonna go in with the espresso again. Espresso, or do I want to go black? Actually, let's go in with, so sepia and French grade 90 are both very similar, but I actually think I want to go in with warm gray 70. Let's see, what size is my pencil for warm gray 70? French gray 70, cold gray, let's see. Oh no, that's warm gray. 90. French gray or warm gray 70 is 1056. Yeah, this is it. See, this one's a nub, but it's got a dowel super glued onto the back, so it's not quite as bad. But I want to darken up the shadow under the shell. Because like I said, I want it to look like it's pressed into it. And in those areas, on this, let's see. So on this larger shell, you can see in the areas on the top where it's the darkest. Maybe not necessarily down in the bottom, but I want to make sure that we're getting that kind of deepness in the sand. So, oh, hang on. What did we say? Warm gray 70 is what we're using. Okay. So warm gray 70% for that one. Are we liking keeping manual track, or do you find that it slows down the stream too much? Not that everything else we do doesn't slow it down. But especially when we do these more complicated ones, I thought maybe people would want to see a physical list a bit more. Love it? Okay, cool. See, I'm a visual learner too, so if I like see the names written down, it's easier for me to remember. Screenshot it? Okay, perfect. Yeah, and I can show the final list at the end too. Okay, so that it'll have everything on it. Okay, all right, so now we're gonna go back to the espresso. Okay, let's see. Only gonna use it a little bit. Okay, now let's go to the light umber. Are we still in frame? Let's move it over a little bit. Easy to screenshot? Okay, perfect. Yeah, because I used to show like all the pencils ahead, but I feel like knowing the order in which we were using them is helpful. All right, so this is that light umber. Okay. And I feel like, even though it's got that, you know what I want to do? We're gonna we're gonna scooch back to the shell real quick. And we're gonna grab, actually warm gray 30, just on a little bit of the shell. Because if you look at it, actually let's grab warm gray 50. If you look at it, yeah, it's got that little lighter ridge on the sand. Shadows of Self last night, why do I know that? Why does that one sound familiar? Who's the author? Okay, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna draw a line here. Okay, and I'm gonna write shell detour / side quest. Okay, and we're gonna use, let's see, warm gray 50%. Oh, look at that, I smeared it. Warm gray 50%. on shell edge. Because I've always said that when we're working on this, there we go. When we're working on this, we make changes to our main thing as we go along. We feel like it needs it. Oh, is that the arc? Sounds good, Foggy. Thanks for being here. Sounds good, Sue. That's right. You guys got the arc, right? Oh, Mistborn era second book. Oh, it's not the arc. Yeah, no, it's Shadows of Self. That's right. Mistborn second. Yeah, because I couldn't get through it. I can't get through the first book. I have tried. I have tried multiple times. I cannot get through it. I don't know what it is, but I'm just like, it is the only one of his books that I have tried. And I can't. I have it. I have it on Audible, I think. Of course, of course. All right, this is going to get a little bit darker too. Yeah, I like that. That's working a little bit better. Okay. All right, now let's go ahead and grab the espresso. We'll mark that in here. Okay. Espresso. Okay. Oh, Suzanne! Hello, Suzanne. How are you? All right, so we're going to grab espresso. I want to darken up that edge of the shell a bit. Okay. Yeah, I like that. All right, so what were we using up here? Warm gray 70. See, this is why I wrote it down, so I can keep track. All right, so we're going to do warm gray 70 here. Okay, so we're back to our background, so we'll draw a line under that. Okay, so warm gray. Oh, that bothers me. I did it in the middle of that line. Oh, well. No one hate me. 70%. I'll start the next one on that line, all right? Okay, so warm gray 70. Okay. Let's get just a little bit of espresso right here. There we go. All right, so now we're gonna go ahead and grab the light umber again. I'm just gonna do abbreviations for this now since it's not anything new. So light umber, okay, asterisk. So that's something we're using again. Okay. Aww. Grandchildren home from the nursery. Love it. Enjoy your grandbabies. All right, light umber. Still want to leave that little bit of a lighter area where it's pressed in. Okay. Again, we're doing that kind of scumbling. You see, and this is why you know that like I wasn't sure what I was going to do, because like my original thought was like, oh yeah, I'll use some acrylic paint pen, but it's not applicable here. The little scumbling is getting the texture that we need for the sand more than the dots. It would have taken so long if we did this whole thing in pointillism. Okay, doing it more sparse, but I am extending the light umber down to this lighter area. Okay, a little bit darker. We may define the edge a bit more on the peaks of these dunes. 40th birthday party tomorrow. Oh, fun. Let me know how he enjoys it. Well, I was realizing, given that we'll probably do the special birthday painting stream, let's see, well, in about a month or so, 4 weeks maybe, I think I need to start planning it out and letting people know what supplies we're using and everything, because I know some people ask like, oh, well, what do we need to get, yada, yada. So I need to plan that out so that if people want to get anything to join in, it gives them time to either order it or go pick it up or whatever. So I need to get the illustration done so I can send that out to people that want to join, but give everybody plenty of time to prepare, you know? Yeah, this is gonna look really cool when it's all done. Are we still in frame? Let's zoom out just a little bit. Make sure we're in focus. There we go. We're good. All right, let's extend this out. Just doing that like kind of little twitchy scumbling here. Oh, fun. It's in the, oh, Australia. Okay. Okay, I was like, what? It's in the 300s? You can also like do open stock too, especially since we're like listing the colors specifically. So like we have, yeah, this is what we did for the part 2 of the shells. I didn't write down part 1 of the shells, but look, there's the episode 28 color list. But yeah, like if you wanted to get individuals, you could get them open stock too. I'm not quite sure what the open stock, oh my gosh, it just, look at that. Oh well, it'll end up getting covered when we get down to that point anyway. Okay. Yeah, I'm liking that. I think we definitely need some more darkness up here though. Let's grab the, let's actually grab dark umber. Because I'm like looking at our reference, looking at how much of our shadows. Now granted, it's going to pop more once we have this one done too, but I can see that I do want to add some more. So we're going to grab the dark umber, which is number 947. Oh yeah, I got a little nubbin for that. So we're going to grab a longer one real quick. Okay. Dark brown, dark umber. Here we are. Oh, this one's already been sharpened. Use this one. That's hot roll. I'm like, I knew it. I knew it's gonna. Oh, drop my headphones. All right. Well, I wonder what the exchange rate is for, what's the dollar that's used in Australia? Let's see. Dollar to USD. It just says the Australian dollar. Okay, so $3 or 300. That's still 211 in the like in United States money. That's a lot. Pencils will. Whee! Yeah, that's really expensive for it. Because I think, Shannon, you got yours on a glitch, right? The low price on yours. So I think the lowest that I've seen it physically is 79. But that was at least 5 years ago. I would be so surprised if we found it for that cheap again. All right, so we're going to be using dark umber. Yeah, 35. Yeah, Shannon, like there was a glitch in the listing and Shannon was able to snag them for 35. Didn't you get like 2 sets, I think? Okay, dark umber. Okay. Yeah, that was insane. Because it was only up for a little bit, but they had to honor the price. Okay, so now we're going to do dark umber. Now, we don't want to do the same dark level all the way throughout because we're showing where the light is, but this side definitely. I was happy when I got a set in December for like 90. Yeah, 90 is freaking fabulous. Absolutely. 100%. I keep waiting to see if the drawing ones are going to drop down to 135 again, but now I just refuse to buy them at the higher price on principle. I did that little line. I shouldn't. I should have done a scribbly line. Sounds like they're back from bike riding. Yeah, basically for the Prismas, like 120 or lower is a really good price on them. So if you ever see it, and that's in US dollars, so whatever that translates to your dollars. If you see it for 120 or lower, absolutely, 100% snatch it up. Trying to find the lowest price. Yeah, I don't blame you. Who was it? Was it Corey? I think, isn't there a way to like set up alerts? Isn't there, is it like the Honey app or something? She's got some sort of, oh, I did a little line. She's got some sort of thing that alerts her when prices drop on stuff. I can't remember what it was though. I don't know. If there's something I have my eye on, I usually put it in my save for later because then I get a little notice up top that said that, you know, the price dropped or increased, which is why I was so sad when the headphones went up by $10, but I still had enough on my gift card to cover it. So I was like, okay. Because honestly, I probably would have just toughed it out with the broken headphones for a while. Maybe convinced Steve that I wanted them for my birthday or something. But I got the bonus on Amazon. I was like, ooh, cool. And so it covered it. So I was like, all right, I can justify spending it on that. Because I kind of think of the headphones almost as like a work expense since I use them all the time. I'm telling you, man, if Audible ever wants to sponsor me, I'm down. Okay, let's see. Let's do a little bit more of the sienna brown. I would totally be, this video is brought to you by Audible because I use it all the time. All right, sienna brown. Oh, wait, forgot to write that down. Okay. Sienna brown. Okay. We're probably going to keep going until I'm fully happy with this. So that's how long we're going to go today. It'll definitely go over a bit. Shannon will be live at 1:30 today. And then Angela tonight. You can get both the links for their channels by doing !Angela and !Lurky. Honestly, until I heard the door shut and I forgot that they went, they went there. Okay. All right, let's grab, do we want to add in a new color at all? No, let's just go back to the peach beige again, which is 1085. Hang on, just a sip of water here. Okay, so, oh, what's this? Peach beige. I'm curious, can you guys hear the neighbor's dogs barking at all? Yeah, I could see the mic going up. They're so noisy. Yes, Angela's one of my lovely mods as well. I swear, you make any peep outside and the dogs just lose their freaking minds. All right, so peach beige. We're gonna need to define this a little bit more too. So let's get our peach beige down and then I think we'll use some light umber there. Look, I'm sorry, they have a giant Belgian Mallow. Now they did fix the fence. After the dogs broke one of the slats, dug through, ended up in our yard, they did fix it themselves. I was very pleasantly pleased that it wasn't like this big to-do thing. And in fact, what they did is they dug down in their yard. Yeah, I'm out of frame. Maybe before I was out of frame. They dug underneath and then they put metal plates down to protect the entire bottom of the fence. So, oh, it's me, not you. Okay. They dug down to keep the dogs from digging. So it hasn't been an issue. But one of their dogs is a big old Belgian Malinois, and he is just huge and tall. He's got to be a mix. Anyway, like if he gets crazy enough, I'm like, is he gonna jump the fence? I don't know. Okay, we're gonna go with light umber now. Okay. It's got an asterisk, that means we used it before. So I'm just kind of writing down in order what we're using. All right, so now we're gonna do a light umber because I want to define this ripple in the sand a little bit. Okay. A little bit of that scribble scrabble. Yeah, because you can still see, and in fact, they have a little bit of a more grayish part on here. So let's actually grab, what do we want? Let's grab French Gray 50. Do we have that out? Yes, we do. French Gray 50 is 1072. Is that the big one? It is 1072. Okay. Just to go on now, so he's outside like he's royalty or something. Yeah. Oh man, when Steve's bringing the trash can back, you know, out of the street or whatever, the dogs lose their minds. Okay, so French Gray 50%. They have like 5 or 6 of them. Five dogs? Maybe 5 dogs. I don't know, a lot of dogs, but they get really disgruntled whenever they can hear anyone. All right, so we're gonna define this ridge just a bit because it's still there. It doesn't disappear. The top one's a little bit lighter, but it's still there. So we're gonna use the grays. And in fact, we may bring in some warm gray as well. But yeah, I wasn't sure what technique we're going to use to get this texture, but this little kind of scumbling thing seems to be working. And what I might do, once I get the rest of the sand down, is actually create a little bit of a darker shadow on the left side. In fact, we'll do that with this one because I feel like that will help to define it a little bit more. So there's that French gray. Okay, let's do that. So I know it's not really in the picture, but we don't have to do everything exactly like the picture. I'm gonna roll with what I feel like I wanna do. Okay, so let's go ahead and grab sepia. Okay, let's see, I guess we could just, let's draw a line here. Okay. There we go. All right, so now we are going to, let's just do it up here so that we have room. Okay, so what did I say? We're gonna grab sepia. Okay. Bye, Linda. Thanks for being here. Okay, so sepia. Did I grab myself a big one? No, I think we're using the short one on that. That's fine. It's not super short. So we're going to add a little bit more of a shadow on the left side. Like I said, we're just using this one as inspiration. We do not have to do it exactly like that. We're doing our own interpretation. Yeah, I like that. Creating that edge on there. Now we could use the blender, but I'm not going to because it's going to darken it up a lot and I don't want to take away from the shells. So we are not going to use the Caran d'Ache blender on this one. Okay, how am I feeling about that? The shape of it. Let's do some more sienna brown. Okay. Oh, that's supposed to be an N. All right, sienna brown. Okay, I want a little bit more color to this. Not a ton. Hi, Hadasa, welcome. All right, so sienna brown. It also looks a little bit lighter to you guys than it is IRL. And that just comes with Binlerkid, yep. That just kind of comes with, you know, you never get the absolute true colors across camera. It's pretty close, but yeah. I just don't want it to look super flat. So I want to make sure we got plenty of, you know, plenty of body to it. And in fact, we could add some richer color where our shadow is. So let's actually, do I want to grab, let's actually grab chocolate or, you know, real life chocolate too. That also works. Chocolate, okay. Let's see, do we have a big or small one for the chocolate? Oh no, it's a decent sized medium-ish one. Thank you. Yeah, we're doing sand today. We're doing sand. All right, so we're gonna get chocolate. We're gonna go, we're gonna sharpen this real quick. I want a nice fine point. Let's see if we get a little bit of a shine off that purple shell. There we go. That's better. All right, so press a little bit harder here. Yeah, I like that. I like that. We don't want it to be all gray. So this will be the only day that we work on the background because my goal, hopefully, fingers crossed, is to finish up this background before stream. Yeah, I like that. I like that. Let's add a little bit of that chocolate over here. We'll do a little bit of line, but that's okay. Okay, let's see. Does it look like it's pressed in? I feel like we still need to go darker. So we're gonna grab the espresso now. And this is why we go light in the beginning, so that we can add to it as needed. And actually it's kind of nice when I look at it on the camera, because it's like I'm taking a step away and then looking at it from further away. Hang on, let's sharpen this so we can have a nice fine point. Now, if the shell was like upside down, it would completely change the way we do the shadow. Doing a little bit of lines here, but still that kind of scumbling. I want to make sure we get that darkest shadow there. Okay, you liking that? Do a little bit there. It's funny, when I move my hand out of the way, it's because I'm just taking a look at it from far away. But I noticed I do that quite a bit. And so when I do the how to color flowers, like I have to cut all that stuff out because it's just constant like lifting. Like, well, that's not distracting at all. Okay, yes, I am liking where this is going. But again, you can also see why sometimes these pages take a little while. Let's go ahead and do a little bit of that here, because I do layer after layer after layer after layer until I build it up enough to where I like it. Still just using that espresso. Okay, and in fact, we're going to add a little bit of espresso on the shell itself. Darken it up just a bit. Like I said, I always make changes to the subject once again. Ooh, see, that's looking really nice. I like that. Oh, question for everyone. Would you prefer between Brute Thinner Macaron or Color Macaron? I'm probably going to go Brute Thinner, but I don't have the Color Macaron, but I do like the way the Brute Thinners feel over the Color. Back, customers seem to think I need to help them. Curses! How dare! Much rude. Audacity. Yeah, how are we liking that? I'm liking that quite a bit, actually. I really feel like it looks like it's pressed into the sand. That was the goal. We could probably like shape that a little bit, but yeah. Let's add a little bit more definition in this, just a bit. And then we can go in with that light umber again, because I don't want it to look like it's just a white spot, you know? Okay, so now we're gonna go in with the light umber. I'm realizing these are your Brutes, but I was like, well, what's wrong with the Brits? I like them too. Okay, light umber again. Okay, because again, I don't want this just to look white. If we were to do the peach beige, it wouldn't stand out, but we're gonna do a little bit of light umber here. So it's got the texture, but still looks separate from everything else. Brits for the win. But I like the Brits. They're so nice. They brought us Doctor Who. There we go. Okay. Yeah, I like that. All right, let's zoom out and see how it looks as a whole. Okay, now that I'm seeing it with the rest of this, that's gonna look really cool. Like, yes, it took us like an hour and a half just to do these 2 strips, but honestly, worth it. It's not as dark as this one, but that's okay. This isn't meant to mirror this exactly. We're using it as inspiration to find where our shadows and everything are. But I am really liking that. What do we think? And once I lighten the black lines on this too, you'll get a lot more of that almost. Like, obviously, these color shells aren't really going to be there. We haven't decided on the color for these yet, but these 2 shells is what we'll do on our last stream. So in a perfect world, I'll have this background done. I've got a headache that's creeping up, so I probably won't work on it anymore today, but I will try and get this done because I really want to see it fully finished on stream. I think the sand is going to do wonders for showing that. So if you are following along, yes, and now I know my colors. I don't have to write. So yeah, let's zoom in here so you can screenshot it if you want. So I tried to, you know, some of these are obviously, think of this more as the list of order, you know, colors we went in order of. This one was our little shell side quest. We used a little bit of an espresso on the shell. Yes, I agree. Yeah, I'm really liking this keeping it down because I'll be honest, as much as I'm like, oh yeah, I'm going to remember. Guys, I'm not going to remember. Barely remember what I had for breakfast. Actually, no, that's a lie. I had a kolache today. I made some bread yesterday. But yeah, so that was for today's stream, 3/20/26. Look, and hi, Alex. So these are all the ones. Thank you. Yeah, it's been, I ran out of my, I take a magnesium, not the kind of magnesium that keeps you busy all day, but the magnesium that helps to manage migraine pain. And I ran out and I was out of it like 3 days. So I've had more migraines as of late, but it's back in and I should be feeling better soon. So just take some medicine, take it easy after stream. But so, all right, let's look at the calendar, shall we? So we have, today's the 20th. Next week is the 27th. That will be the last stream for the quilt squares. I'm going to be doing a giveaway for 10 charms. I will try and get the squares caught up so everybody knows what they have. As long as you have a square, oh, thank you. As long as you have a square, you'll be able to enter the giveaways for the charms. So that will be the last day. After that stream, maybe I'll leave it up for the rest of the month, but that will be the last on-stream day for it. And then I'll close the store on April 1st. It won't be an April Fool's joke, okay? April 1st, I'm going to close the quilt store, all right? And then the month of April, I can't guarantee that I'll have it done by the time we do the special birthday bonus stream, but the month of April is when I will be taking the time to put together the quilt. And I will do my best to either film clips of it or show, you know, progress of it being sewed on stream, you know, when I've got stuff together. But the 31st will be the last day to purchase any charms for your squares. So we're coming to the end of this project. And then in about 3 or 4 weeks, I will let everybody know the exact date, but I'm going to get all the info that we need for the birthday bonus stream, for the supplies, because we're going to do painting. If you guys missed it, we are going to be doing, hang on, I want to grab you a little sample. Okay, we are going to be doing a special stream so I can show you guys how to do this. I felt so bad. I had a woman that ordered the ginger one and she lived overseas and I sent it and everything. It went out, but for whatever reason, it never arrived. And I felt so bad. It's like one of the few bad reviews I have, but it was more like on Etsy because literally I did everything and I sent it out, but we refunded the painting. I'm just crossing my fingers that at some point it will still arrive. So some of these are in the shop, but the whole point of the stream is going to be teaching you guys how to do this. And we're going to be painting some cherries. So the things that I will give you guys, and it's not a paid thing or anything, anybody can join. I'll give you a list of all the supplies. I'm going to give you a free download that you can either trace or print out or whatever else. And then we will do a special stream all together. We'll stay live until we paint the whole thing. And yeah, you guys can have your own little painting. Honestly, this one's my favorite. I may just need to keep this one for myself and just hang it up. But anyway, so we're going to do that. So keep an eye out on socials and I'll post like in the YouTube members thing too, the day, the time, and then I'll have the download for the tracing thing and I'll have my list of supplies. Thank you. Yeah, that was the hope. I'll have my list of supplies. So again, it's all free. No one has to buy anything. Heck, you don't even have to use the supplies we're using. You can use whatever you have at home. But we'll be doing a step-by-step bonus birthday stream. So it should be fun. All right. So I'll see you all on the, wait, that's April. On the 27th, where we're going to finish this page. We'll do some giveaways for charms, wrap up the quilt project. And yeah, have a great rest of your weekend. If you're on spring break, have a good rest of your break. And I will see you guys in about a week or so. All right. Thanks for being here. Bye.